Say it.
Do you still believe nothing classified was shared?
Well, that's what I've heard. I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask the various people involved. I really don't know. I can only tell you this. You know, you don't want to talk about it. The Houthis have been horrible to the world. What they've done, killed a lot of people, and knocked down a lot of ships and planes and anything else. You know, it's not just the ships. And they have been hit. They have been hit harder than they've ever been hit, and they want us to stop so badly. And they've got to stop. They've got to say no mas. But I can only say that the attacks, it's attacks every day, every night. It's not just the one. You're talking about one. The attacks have been very successful, even beyond our wildest expectations. We've hit them very hard, very successfully. And we're going to do it for a long time. We're going to keep it going for a long time.
Director Gabbard testified that any information that would indicate that the U.S. or its allies are going to make an attack should be classified. The Secretary of Defense has said that the information in those messages was not classified. Are you going to ask him to review whether it should have been, should flight times and sequencing
Sure, I'll ask him to do that. Sure, I would. It would be. You can view that two ways, frankly. There's a lot of ways to answer that question, but I'd certainly ask him to take a look at it.
So, Mr. President, when they did this, in hindsight, should they have
Well, there may be a problem with the platform, and if there's a problem with the platform, nobody should use it. You know, they could have a basic problem, but I say it again: the attack was so successful, it was so lethal. Not that I'm looking for lethality. I wish we didn't have to do it at all, but they're shooting down our ships, they're shooting down our planes, and we can't allow that to happen. And again, this is something that should have been done by Biden a long time ago, or one or two more.
Senate Republicans have said that they have formally asked the administration for an Inspector General report on the signal issue. Will you agree to that?
It doesn't bother me. I don't know. I want to find if there's any mistake, or if Signal doesn't work. It could be that Signal is not very good. It's a company, and maybe it's not very good. I think we'd rather know about it now. There was no harm done because the attack was unbelievably successful that night, and it has been unbelievably successful every single night for the last 4 or 5 nights.
The TikTok sale, will you extend the deadline if you don't have a deal? Do you support Oracle?
Well, we will have a form of a deal. TikTok is very popular, very successful, very good. We're going to have a form of a deal, but if it's not finished, it's not a big deal. We'll just extend it. I have the right to have the deal and to extend it if I want. So we'll see whether or not we have a deal. We have a lot of interest in TikTok.
Is there a way for a U.S. company to operate it and ByteDance to still have a share of the algorithm?
Well, there are numerous ways you can buy TikTok, and we will find the one that's best for the country, for our country. I'm worried about our country more than anything else with respect to TikTok. And China is going to have to play a role in that, possibly, in the form of an approval, maybe. And I think they'll do that. Maybe I'll give them a little reduction in tariffs or something to get it done, because every point in tariff is worth more money than TikTok, if you think. Every point. Tariff is a much bigger world, and TikTok is big, but every point in tariffs is worth more than TikTok. So in order to get China to do, maybe I'd give them a reduction in tariffs as an example. Sounds like something I did.
So, Mr. President,